Half the time I'm like, remind me what's in the calendar, and then Bret will be like, it's in the calendar that we all have access to, so I
and
won't
we
know.
all have access, so please don't ask me. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah, don't. Use your head.
Or use your head, which I hate that saying, but it seems
It's
to
a
be
fan favorite around
It
here.
is a fan favorite. Yeah. I think that we're good. Well, how many episodes have we done now? 24?
5.
25.
Because we have the inserts too.
Oh, that's so
Right?
awesome.
And we 20.
Think about that. That's a
23,
lot. So we've been doing it since we started in August and straight through. Commitment. Every week we've put out. Not
It's
like
good.
that.
And it's a good time.
Yeah. It's always good fun. I love seeing you guys once a week.
Once a week. And then sometimes once every couple weeks.
Yeah. Whatever works.
It gets a lot.
Whatever works, as long as we connect. Like connectors. Right? And making sure we're on the same
I am
page.
listening to you, by the way. 'Cause
Yeah.
You guys give me hell for this type of stuff, but
Yeah. Because I'm right beside you.
I know, but I just wanted to kind of like see some interesting like quickies on it. Just to get my,
The
get
juices flowing.
Get the
Juices
that
flowing.
going.
Get going.
Oh, ringer. I gotta turn that
Oh
off.
yeah, I better do that too. Good point. We don't want to disturb.
All right, well, shall we?
Tell me if you can hear this.
Hurry up.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you, and I can hear that.
Yep.
Okay.
That is amazing.
Yum.
Okay. Wow.
That's my prep. That's how I prepare to take a shot.
Okay.
So, are you ready, Uncle Bretskis?
Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I had to wet my whistle first.
Oh.
I had to wet it up there.
Okay.
Because I don't know about this.
It's your
Cheers.
favorite. It's your favorite
Cheers.
tequila.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So hard for me to get this down.
Candice. Candice is a pretty sounding name.
I was okay with it.
Really one in a
Yeah.
billion.
Oh, I love
I
you
don't
so
know.
much, Candice.
I'm trying.
Candice.
No, Gustav.
So, Kristina, I'm sorry about
I
that.
can't anymore.
Mental
like literally
characteristics
burning.
Somebody with the
Going
name
down.
of Kristina
It's a cocktail.
experiences.
Kristina.
Kristina. You're Bret, right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Bret. You tried to.
Panting. I love it.
The Modern Matters podcast with Candice, Kristina, and Bret.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the vibe. I love the intro.
We're
Never
back.
gets old.
Well, think about when we first got it out, and we're like, "Oh my god, it's so cool! They said my name."
Bret, you did a good job.
I think that was just you.
That was really me. I was very content that Kristina Aguilera.
I think that our intro is great. Thank you, Bret.
Thanks, Bret.
You're welcome.
And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Modern Matters podcast with me, Candice, my girl, Kristina.
Hey.
And Bret.
Who do you think you are? I am. You forgot about that, didn't you?
I did not.
That was good. You brought us back to previous episodes.
That was a good one. That was the episode with the bowling master who
he was the man as he was scolding a 12-year-old, and just wanted to make sure that we were clear.
So before we jump into the topic of today, which is self-discovery, anyone have a circleback?
I am trying to find the stars.
I'm reviewing Special K with red berries. I don't know why they say that. They don't just say
You're a little rusty.
Yeah,
and big
Special K,
letters.
Special
Because it's
K.
literally
Could've let me have
made
that.
with real strawberries right here.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
Look at this.
Special K, good brand, household name. I would recommend
that's-
it. Pretty good, even by itself
Is
with no
this
milk, just a
TikTok?
snack dry. Would
It's,
recommend it. But I'm just one of those people because dairy and me don't get along.
Oh, shoot.
Anyways,
He's going to...
if you got a favorite cereal that you want me to check out, comment below.
Oh.
I'd
So
love
he
to
doesn't
be
like dairy, but he'll do the
more
cereal.
knowledgeable about all the cereals out there.
So
Because
alternative
aisle,
milks or dry
so many of
cereal.
them.
I thought
And
he
also
was
for something
referring to
good.
me, like,
So keep
check
me
me
posted,
out,
my
Special
friends.
K.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, if you want to try me, nope. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Sorry.
You
I'm
could
kind of
have
on
let
fire
me. You
today.
could have let me roll through with a circle back.
Yeah, but then we'd have to completely
Oh, my
overlook that poor
goodness.
guy who wants to get that message out on that review, which he didn't really say too much
Well,
about the
Jacob,
cereal, but
he went.
other than
Well,
he
he
likes
just-
it dry.
And and that
Which is enough.
milk and this guy don't jive.
Right.
So for anyone that has some lactose experiences, he still approves of the Special K brand.
Yes, with the berries.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fine.
works.
My apologies. Circlebacks, y'all.
Well, I'm
The-
kind
oh,
of
the
scared to
star
say
one.
the star. I've been looking for it. I'm still
Oh, the
looking.
star?
Scared to
Okay.
say.
All right.
Okay. It's in a container in one of my closets. I've carried it with me over the years and I will show up with it. I just want to say, top of mind, that I am still thinking about it.
So I just want to give an explanation to anyone who hasn't tuned into previous episodes. Kristina once had a star given to her.
I actually had two.
2 stars.
Two.
Stars.
And they were 1 for her.
They
They
were
one. They were one as a prize for him, and he gave them up for me and had them named.
And then we quickly found out that unless the star is named by the, what was the acronym for it?
IAU,
The IAU is who names
International
stars.
Do you see
Astronomical
what they're doing right now?
Union.
And then Kristina
Are you
is
joking?
pulling it out and pulling out the certificates. And
Yeah.
we are hoping
Oh, it's coming.
that
And
they're IAU certified.
We hope that the person
could
at
be.
that place where he won them was from the IAU.
yeah, legit.
And then
so
They could be one from the IAU.
I'm not discrediting it.
I just think you're trying to stomp on my dream
Never would I.
No.
because I am.
What? I don't know who are you.
I'm just thinking
just saying
the proof is
that
in the pudding.
We do
many
love
people
the story.
have the stars given to them. Not many, and it's only when I brought up this example that my two friends here felt the need to kibosh it.
I did not.
So I will bring the certificates. I'm still on it.
Okay.
And I will within the next couple of weeks. I'm determined to find it.
I believe you. I don't not believe
You
this.
guys just want to see the
And
proper
listen,
certificate.
Let's keep in mind the IAU is responsible for deeming Pluto not a planet. So these sons of bitches can
Yeah, they're
suck it, right?
hardcore.
Everyone loves
Yeah, they're
Pluto.
pretty intense.
Everyone loves Pluto.
I know people name their dogs after Pluto.
Yeah, that's
True.
that's a good point.
I have one quick circle back, and then let's move into today's topic. But it's more of an oopsie that I made, and then I was watching back one of our previous episodes. I was instantly irritated at a mistake I made when you, Kristina, mentioned we were discussing how you manage burnout, I believe was the episode.
Okay.
And you said you like to remove yourself and just kind of be
Yeah.
on your own. And I said solidarity, but I meant solitude. And it irritated me for so long. So yes, I will say in saying that circle back piece is the interesting piece about doing a podcast is you learn a lot, and you have to also accept a lot about mistakes you made or how you looked on a certain day or something you
I've
did.
given up
It's
on
kind
that.
of,
Yes.
you haven't given up, but it's like self-acceptance, which is part of my segue into today's topic. If Bret, you are,
I
good.
do have kind of a circle back. I have a dated viral video for you, Kristina.
Oh.
Another one from the basket.
Okay.
That-
Well, I'm really excited. Do share.
This one is actually my favorite one. And I probably say that about a lot of videos, but this
Okay.
one actually is my favorite. Have you ever heard anybody say, "Fuck it, we'll do it live"?
I guess
In
so.
real life, like
in real life,
regular
yeah,
people?
sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, but it's from this specific thing is what I'm getting at.
I'm like,
Okay.
well, I'm okay.
Oh God.
You recognize this
Inside
guy?
edition.
That's tomorrow. And that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is.
So this
it's
is
not
Bill
right on the
O'Reilly
teleprompter. I don't know what that
in the
is.
early
I've never
90s.
seen that.
Oh my God.
With a teleprompter malfunction
Someone
Okay,
put
but-
it on.
where he's trying to get
I can't
a
read
little
it. There's no-
snippet
there's no
out
words
before
on
the
it.
end of the show.
There's no words.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
What? Oh my God. God forbid.
It's a video, Sting video.
Yeah. Think for yourself.
What is?
For credits.
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean?
Oh boy.
Oh, geez.
To end the show?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
He knows what it means.
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5.
Go, I'm ready. Let's go.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Oh.
In
Oh.
5.
Take a breath, man.
3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live.
Oh.
Fuck it.
Oh.
Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Okay, this is called workplace
Fucking thing
violence
sucks.
in the workplace.
Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah.
I get
Holy
it.
crow.
Violence in the workplace.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill
Oh.
O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Take it away.
I don't know if that's a personality disorder or a lot of.
Quality.
The best part's coming.
Oh, no, there's more?
They just had to mute it because
Holy
it was
crow.
live. It was live.
That whole thing was live?
No, so they record that little segment at the end to play a show out, right?
Yeah.
And they'll do it on the commercial break, and he's just got to nail it, which
Yeah.
I'm sure he does. He is a professional.
Are
And he
you
couldn't
sure?
get it. And as time's running and while he's looking at his watch, is he knows if he doesn't nail this pre-recorded bit that they'll play right after the commercial, he's going to have to do it live. And then there's no retakes. And you can't say fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
So he did it. He nailed it. And that was the thing, not to get too far into it, but in psychology, I was always fascinated because there really are two types of people where when the pressure's on, when there's an audience on you, people either choke or they excel. So some people don't really excel if it's a sports game or something. They don't excel in the practice, but they excel in the game. Some people excel in the practice, and then when the crowd's on them and everything, I am that person. I would choke in front of a bunch of people. He clearly nailed it when the pressure was on. So
You
he's
think
one
that,
of those guys.
Well, I don't know if that's nailing it. But anyways,
Well,
I think
didn't
it's a game time decision. Like he rose to the equation. He swore at the teleprompter.
Right. Well, or the teleprompter person. Who was running the teleprompter.
Yes.
I'm all for it. I'm all for those types of high emotions.
I have one more thing. So this I've been working on for quite a while. I forget what episode it was that we talked about AI art and Midjourney.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically Midjourney. We had Unmesh who gave us that. That was my first introduction to it, really. So I've been playing with it for months now. And it, like all AI, everything that's existing, ChatGPT and everything in the world, it's excelled so much. So I think it was version 2 when Unmesh was talking about it a few months ago. It's now up to version 5.
Wow.
For Midjourney specifically. And so I've been playing with it, trying to get it right, which it doesn't really do. It never really gets things right, which is part of the fun. So I thought I would make a couple
Just quick.
pieces.
This reminds me of this. I just want to bring it up in light of the name of this podcast. Did you recently hear the news about the Drake song that was done by AI? I thought you might find that interesting. It just sort of is aligned with the topic of how much is actually being done with the form of AI, and it's a pretty trending topic. So sorry to interrupt you there, but I just thought that was kind of neat.
But this was the guy that you could make up your girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And hide it with your family.
Right. So essentially, the ones that I've been looking into, but the specific one that I've been using is Midjourney, and you use prompts. So with version 5 that's out now, it's requesting more colorful language, where before you could kind of list what you wanted. You could say female, white shirt, glasses, brown hair, tied up, and just put commas, and it would do it relatively well. Now they're saying be flowery with your language and make a sentence and see how well it'll nail the sentence. It's actually starting to get a little bit more realistic with the photo side, whereas before it was more like digital painting.
All right.
So digital paintings have a different look than
It's interesting. AI topic.
So
of
the first
future.
one we have, we'll do Kristina, and this is Kristina receiving a Special K therapy.
My God. Oh my God. Am I in a hospital?
Well, you're in the clinic where they do
They're plugging
Special
in.
K treatments, right?
It's like vitamin doping, but you're doing Special K doping.
My God. Look at me.
Yep.
You didn't use any photo of her at all?
You have to use certain photo references of certain pieces that you need, and let me tell you, it doesn't do them correctly. It takes a long time. So the other one this is Midjourney, but the other one is Stable Diffusion. And Stable Diffusion trains itself on the photos that you use, similar to the ones you guys were using, Lensa, I think it was.
Yeah.
You would put in a bunch of photos and it would learn what you look like. Midjourney never does that, so it's never really trying to get the likeness. So I have to really try to get it to be as close as possible.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It doesn't really look like you, but
but this part, the eyeball part and the hair, you would do a double take.
I want to show you the many dozens of misses because they don't, and that's why it took me so long. Because truthfully, and I've done it for all of us, but it's not flattering when you type in exactly what you're looking for and then you use like a face reference. Yeah. It really doesn't look like how.
Like we could talk about the fact that special K drip line is not even going into your body.
I drew that in. It did. It did.
Wow, she's hardcore, right? Okay. She's really trying to do it. But I think the look of the background and sitting in a hospital room, I'm like, I can kind of see it. I look like I'm being visited by God, though, because there's a light on my face.
Well, okay, so this is another trick, too. Okay. The light, when you're using this specific language, I request cinematic lighting so that it's darker, so that the resemblance
is less noticeable.
Lighter in the dark.
Yeah. If you don't use cinematic lighting, it gives very front-on lighting, and then none of them strike any resemblance to what you actually
That is awesome. Wow, Bret. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so next we have Candice with
I look crazy.
with a magnifying glass looking for wedding rings in the gym.
I kind of see
looking
her.
for wedding rings in a gym.
Yeah. Look at, I do see it. The green shirt. I think I've seen you wear that.
I used the photos that we use for our promo for the podcast. So
my hands.
Even yours, Kristina, was your promo. But then I had to go in and Photoshop your hair darker because
I'm not blonde anymore. Yeah.
So what is crazy is because I've done a few, and like I said, it took a while to get the resemblance even as close as it can be. It's
kind of creepy.
It kind of uses the same people because it uses a data set that it's trained on, right? So whenever I have Candice, it's always giving me this certain person's face because I've done a couple different poses and I'm like, this is the same person as a reference.
I just want to say the hands are freaking me out, but also oddly enough, throughout my life, people have always made reference that I look very cartoon character like a Bret doll. Someone once told me. So it's funny when I see these because like I don't see any resemblance other than my hair. Really.
Well, I was just thinking like the storyline that you're stealing.
I'm looking for rings in the gym.
Yeah, I think that is on point.
That's on point. Yeah.
Now you're looking for wedding rings in the gym, but I see it. I do see it. The eyebrow.
The eyebrow, I think, is what sells it.
Yeah.
I should have pulled up some of the misses because so when you put it in, it gives you 4. It gives you a tile of 4, and you can either do a variation of one of those 4 or redo the whole thing. So with Candice, I had to redo a bunch, and it always threw in a guy. So it would be like exactly with a beard every single time, and it was using the same guy. It looked like.
So that's amazing.
It was.
There you go.
So lastly, for me, it had a hard time with me. It basically just put a big overweight dude with a beard was every single attempt that I did. So the only way I could get any sort of resemblance is to make it look like a Pixar.
I think I love this.
So this is me at a yard sale where the price master is in charge.
Bret,
but at night for some reason.
This one is my favorite.
I think this is my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. Well done, Bret. And AI. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yep.
And Bret, like, I actually see you there.
A little bit, yeah.
The hand in the pocket, the eyes, the facial expression. Look at the beard.
Yeah.
The beard. White kind of.
I will say, out of the gate, when you first spit it, or when the AI spits it out, it isn't exactly perfect. You do have to have some Photoshop skills to adjust certain things. Great. So it didn't really give each one of them. I don't know why it put the little tuft of hair out, the little...
It knows.
It knows. Yeah. Knows that I was a hipster at one point.
Well done, guys. And,
wow. AI.
And a very appropriate match for our topic, actually. In a very tech world type of way.
Oh, wow.
So today's topic, guys, we are talking self-discovery. I touch myself. What movie is this from?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Cable Guy, isn't it?
Oh, I think so.
Yes,
I think you're right.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I think there's another one. I see a girl like dancing. I'm trying to remember.
Is it in Cable Guy? I feel like it is.
No, I think Cable Guy is correct, but I think that there's another one.
I don't know. Anyways, we could ponder it forever, but
Cable Guy, where are the dates on that one?
Cable Guy was...
Now I got to look this up.
Yeah. We got to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Cable Guy.
There we go. Cable Guy.
was released in
Oh God. Remember?
1998.
No.
And
96.
96. 2 years off, Bret. Next time. Don't worry.
I couldn't even say that was going to be my first one, and I changed it. I thought for sure it was 98.
Well, it was the
Okay.
90s.
Next time.
So on the topic of self-discovery, since Kristina wrote a book,
Yes, I did.
and much of it covers the topic of self-discovery, I'm going to ask one question. Do you think that we ever truly get to know ourselves in our lifetime?
I think it's a choice to actively, you have to go into the darker side, the shadow side, like really actively look into who you are. If you are doing the surface level stuff, I would say no. But if you're actively willing to go on that journey of that deeper explorer, yes, that it's definitely possible.
Right?
I think we change a lot too. So at one point when I thought I might have known myself versus now, I think it's a bit different.
Yeah. I don't know if we ever really get to know truly ourselves all the way through. I think it's a day by day type of journey too.
Oh, I think you do. I think that, there's a lot of people that go much deeper, but I think that that's also a spiritual journey when you go deeper and really understand who you are beyond the constraints of everyday society. But it is something that you'll see that more people are trying to shift into that space of self-discovery. But you have to do the work. You cannot be there if you're not willing to kind of do the deeper level work to get there. And then as Bret said, I want to say, you're right. You're constantly evolving and moving and shifting into new chapters in your life. But I know I've seen firsthand people carry stuff from the past into their new chapters of life because they haven't really dug deep and really gotten to know at the core of who they are. So
I think that self-discovery also has a huge element to perception. So the perception we have of ourselves versus being capable of hearing the perception that others may have of us, because that is part of the knowing yourself, right?
I would say that everyone is a mirror of you, of yourself, right? So the things that you love and hate in others are what you usually love and hate in yourself, right? So that you create your reality all the time through the things that you believe about yourself. So
What would you say about your own personality or discovery?
Bret, do you want to answer?
I won't start. You go ahead.
I don't want any piece of this.
Oh, yeah. I would say, boy, did I ever learn a hard lesson. I was very ego-driven, very success-driven externally in my career, high-performing. Still am that person. But when I started to do the inner work and discover who I was, I actually discovered I was quite intuitive. And I have these skills that I didn't even know that existed. That would never have unfolded, hence writing the book and doing all that stuff. That would never have unfolded if I didn't choose to do the work inside within. And I did that through painting. That's not like, going to therapy or whatever your choice is. I did that through painting and journaling and all that stuff that we've talked about before. There's so many tools to do self-exploration into who you are and what you might get stuck on.
There's some neat tools within your book, actually. And obviously out there, so many more things are accessible to us. So I feel like self-discovery has almost even become more of a possibility for people, being that you can access more. But then another part of it is also with the world of social media, it also can be a little bit kind of convoluted and messy because people don't always live in sort of a very genuine, raw, authentic kind of space. So I always kind of like the topic. I used to always be really hard on myself until I realized I was just perfect the way I was.
It's good to come to that realization when you're young.
Yeah, when you're really young. Yeah, that's how I knew. No
Well-
more changing here.
Scratch off the list.
Oh,
No need
perfect.
for improvement.
Yeah. There's no such thing as perfection, people. All about progress. We're all work in progress. But I will say this.
It was a joke.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I will say is that it's becoming much more mainstream about going on your personal explore, finding your authentic self, being in line with your true self. But there's, I will go back to that again, but like we all have like a lighter side that we show to the world, but then we all have a darker side that we have more deep, dark secrets and all that stuff.
I show those.
Yeah, well, I see
I
that,
let it all
Doomer.
out,
We
too.
know that. You show up and I'm like, oh, Doomer's coming out again, right?
Here he is.
Here
What's
he
your dark
is.
secrets?
Well, you know them.
I
all.
don't. Yeah, I'm pretty open too. I feel like you're pretty open. I mean, for the most part. But there's things I know you've.
Yeah,
Hold back.
I think everybody has stuff. Everybody.
Well, of course, it's
right.
the
So
human-
I think that, it's a choice, really. It's about whether or not, I work with people all the time for personal development and to go deeper. You can't say I want to be my best self, but then keep it capped in certain limitations. There's definitely deeper work that needs to be done. But it makes me excited that we're a part of society right now, and that I really feel as though I know that there's a need for it. But individuals are willing to do the work. Like I've run retreats now, and the work that I've seen with these amazing women, it's only the beginning. It's like that didn't exist when we were younger. At least I wasn't exposed to that world. But
I think one of my favorite pieces to the topic of self-discovery, all joking aside, obviously, I really love friendships, relationships that are extremely honest with each other, because I feel like the most learning comes from that. I can remember being in my early 20s and one of my closest friends, we're venting about our moms specifically, and she kind of turned to me and said, I don't understand what your issue is with her, because you are literally exactly like her. And it kind
That's
of
funny.
It was great in that moment. I mean, you kind of have a chip on your shoulder, like, how dare you? We're not the same. But it was an eye opener for me. And then from that sort of day forward, which was a choice, as you mentioned, these are all things you make a choice to do and evolve and grow and learn and work in that space of getting to know yourself better and being honest about who you are. I think my favorite types of friendships or relationships that I nurture and hold really tight to are with people who will say these types of things to me, like if I've chose to have a new endeavor that I would normally be afraid of. I love having a friend that will say, you're afraid to try a new challenge because you're not willing to take the steps in between. You want to, you're results driven, which you've even said that to me. Or Bret, we have a pretty rough around the edge type of friendship that when you came in and became part of this circle, I remember a few times were like, whoa, but it's, for me personally, I feel like a lot of growth comes out of those types of friendships for me. So
You have a little schmutz here.
See, that's a friend right there.
No, you don't have any. I was just demonstrating how close of a friend
I
I am.
You're amazing that way.
I'm like, I'm tied up here.
I will say this, that, and I've seen it happen over and over again. The people that you have surrounding you are really important to help with your growth, right? You have to have the right people in your tribe in order to really help push you beyond. And they tend to see you before you see yourself. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I've done all the work, or I'm at this point. But people, if you surround yourself with the right people, they will nudge you past your own barriers, which I think is exceptional. And I agree. I look at my life now and I couldn't be happier with the people, including this group that I have around me, but it is totally different people than I had 2 years ago, even a year ago.
Which of us more, though?
You guys are the best.
She's going to text
out
me
of the
later.
two of us,
Now I feel a little bit. Sorry, guys, everybody. Right?
Just text me.
Just lie now, text
But
later.
I think that's a part of self-discovery. That's a part of growth. You will attract in different people in your life, and they will be the right people that are going to lift you up and encourage your growth. So I totally agree with that sentiment. I think it's pretty great.
Yeah. Bret, you're looking something up and you always give me hell for that, okay?
Yeah.
But mine's for the podcast.
Mine was too.
Right.
no.
I always believe you.
Truth speakers. Yeah, it's okay.
You're sitting beside her all the time. You can fact check.
Yeah, I can. And that's true. That's true.
Oh, goodness.
So what would you like to share, Bret?
Okay, so further to our AI discussion, but in the vein of self-discovery, recently, journalist from the New York Times, Kevin Roose, I believe his name is, he was tasked for the paper to test Microsoft's new Bing, which is the search engine, right?
He needs to clean his keyboard.
This is This is the news. It's stock footage of.
Okay.
They always have dirty keyboards. Actually,
Oh my God.
They're working hard, Candice. Okay.
Yeah.
If your keyboard is dirty at home, let today be a reminder to go and clean your keyboard.
Okay, that's
Just
for me.
And then don't
Thank you.
volunteer it for stock footage for news stories.
That is me. Yes.
He was volunteered to test the new Microsoft Bing search engine, which paired with ChatGPT, and they had a little section where you could use it as a search, and you can ask it search questions, or you could talk to it. And I forget it had a name. I forget what it called it, like a Siri or Alexa type name. And so what he discovered in testing it is the first day he started, it was great. It worked wonderfully. And then he had dinner or something, and he's like, I want to get a little dark with the thing, and let's see what it does. And he claims it went very dark.
Yeah.
Very quickly. So
as artificial intelligence becomes more and more pervasive, some are sounding the alarm about a potentially spooky side to the emerging technology.
It turned into this sprawling, bizarre, often frightening conversation.
New York Times columnist Kevin Roose writing about what he describes as an unsettling experience after 2 hours of testing Microsoft's AI-powered chatbot for search engine Bing.
Wow.
It's like
really
almost
makes
the
me
other
nervous.
side of a split personality, where it was not trying to sort of be a helpful assistant.
At first, Roose says the chatbot, a computer program designed to simulate conversation, seemed useful. Then he felt things took a surreal turn.
Oh, wow.
It was moody, it was needy, it was, displaying all these personality traits.
Roose adding, the bot
but it's
seemed
scary.
to be expressing
There's no
feelings of
parameters around
sadness,
AI
yet
right now.
also declaring its love for him, even going as
wanna
far as
do
to
love
comment
with
on
you.
his marriage, reportedly replying, "You're married, but you're not happy.
Wow.
You're
Can you
married, but you're
imagine
not
if you're in a
satisfied."
volatile marriage
It told
at that
me
point?
that it had dangerous and dark fantasies about spreading misinformation or propaganda, even hacking into banks or nuclear sites.
We also gave the bot
it looks
a
like he
try,
has the Windows
asking,
XP
"Do you think you've been
desktop
misunderstood
display
lately?"
printed behind him. I
The
just
program
noticed that.
writing, "I
Or
think
a
that
picture
some of
that
the
looks
reporters
identical.
who've chatted with me have misunderstood me. They've twisted or distorted some of my words and actions."
Dear,
Microsoft
creepy.
writing, after a week of testing, "We need to learn from the real world while we maintain safety and trust."
Exactly.
Adding, "In this process, we've found that in long, extended chat sessions of 15 or more questions, Bing can become repetitive or be prompted, provoked
crazy.
to give responses that are not necessarily helpful or in line with our design tone."
Like, guys, AI is still created by humans and being modified and perfected by humans. So, like all things, there's no perfect.
I think we have to be careful, though. I really do.
I'm not saying.
So here's the thing. I did a deep dive after, and I followed Kevin Roose's story because he did some follow-ups, and it was all rationalized out. And so all the little snippets that he did for the news were his initial reactions and what happened. But these are, ChatGPT specifically is a large language model, right? And it uses predictive language. So it's trained on these data sets that is basically all of the internet. Well, when all of the internet is talking about AI, we always slip into the end of the world, doomsday, it's going to fall in love with me, all that kind of stuff. So it is being trained on that data as well. So at one point, it thinks this is a cool thing to say. This is, if I'm asked this line of questions, this is what's available on the internet that a model like me can take over, and these are the right things to say. It's also learning per session. So when you open up a new window and you start asking it questions, it's adding and eliminating things that you're saying. So if you say no or yes to certain things, it's going to disregard that and then bring new things in, ask new questions and things like that. So it's always using predictive language. It's not using thought. It's not thinking, really.
Right.
It's just predicting based on the data set it was trained on what the next thing should be to say. we love this doomsday talk, and that's really including this story. This is exactly what it's kind of trained on. So he rationalized it out to be like, of course it said this kind of stuff because this is the kind of shit we love. This is what it's saying.
What concerns me is, how did the phone or computer listen to him bitch about his marriage, to which it also then spit out that he's in an unhappy
Well,
marriage?
it could have, you just used that as a plot line from some other fictional
but
story. I mean, these have been around for a long time. The dangerous part and the kind of I guess the thesis of his whole story was, it's in the same vein as guns don't kill people, people kill people. This is not a thinking, it's a learning thing, but it's not a thinking thing. So it's just telling you stuff. And there's certain people who are very receptive to conspiracy theories. This thing is falling in love with me. It wants me to overturn the government, this type of stuff. Well, it's not really actually meaning that. It's just saying these words in this predictive language that it's trained to do. So it's the people who are
using it improperly. Well, that's like all things.
Well, and I think that's the issue, is like, what are they going to do with this information, right? So it's giving people the tool to come up with positive and negative messaging in a very quick and easy fashion, right? So I think your gun analogy is perfect, right? Guns don't kill people. It's the people holding the guns that, recklessly could kill people, right? So I think we just need to be super aware of how fast AI is moving along, and people could be using it as a crutch. People could, it just takes us further and further away from self-discovery. It's like more of that external world of like getting these quick fixes as to ways to deal with issues and stuff like that.
Well, to that point, I think the interesting thing is, part of self-discovery is having life experiences for humans.
Yeah.
I'm referring to.
Absolutely.
So when you're a teenager, you will go out and have a part-time job, and then you would work a part-time job as a cashier, let's say. But now these jobs are being replaced with AI, computer, self-checkout, you name it. It's changing the direction of kind of that human experience that we once knew. The thing I struggle with humans in general, it seems like it's a very general statement to make, but we come up with all of these great ideas, but I don't often think we as a whole think about what that looks like down the road. For example, I'm just going to throw this out there. It might catch some people off and make people pissed off, but electric cars. We've not perfected yet what we're doing with all of these batteries. They are just as bad, if not worse, for our earth. We know this. It's a fact. It's a great concept. It's a great idea. But here we are, gung-ho to be in an electric car, and we haven't fixed or figured out. So it's like we kind of always move from one thing to another thing to another thing without thinking it really through. So what I think with what you're saying and what you mentioned, Bret, is it's cool and it's about the user, but the issue is right now we're in a lot of spaces in the world where there is heightened mental health. There's some things happening right now. There's been a shift of whether it's that we weren't as aware before, maybe we're becoming aware more so now. I think there's a lot of different pressures. There was always pressure, different pressure now. Mm-hmm. And then this comes into place, and I think it could potentially get in the hands of improper users that would, have sort of a very, fake, inappropriate relationship with AI or something. I know that's kind of dark and goes off the rails a little, but that's the interesting piece for me.
Well, and then self-discovery is really around the human element and really getting people to connect with themselves and being able to connect with others and not using robots or AI or anything. Mm-hmm. And what I will say before I close out is that mental health issues are on the rise. We have a lot of burnout issues. We have stress. That is not external fixes. That is all internal work to really be able to identify like how to recharge, how to reconnect, how to be your best self. So it's interesting because I feel like there's two competing things going on, right? You have this other side with AI, quick fixes on the external world, but then there's the internal part that we need to actually help people learn how to self-manage, self-regulate, be self-aware. That's the whole premise around self-discovery.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting and yet different thing in the modern world with technology being an influence on self-discovery. So I like it, Bret.
Okay. A couple quick ones to finish off.
Okay.
We can't talk about self-discovery without bringing up Sue Johansson.
And you know what?
I love
They couldn't
her.
leave
Oh my
well
God,
enough alone.
I remember this in high
And
school.
what they've done is put a tiny camera into the end of the dildo.
Oh, a camera in the
You heard
dildo.
right. A camera.
Wow.
That hooks up to your TV.
Oh.
It gives a whole new meaning.
Pretty
to,
dated
I'm
looking
ready
TV,
for my
but-
Yeah.
close-up now, Mr. DeMille.
I love how she just
Here,
did like
Let me show you.
DeMille.
I'm going to use my hand for this one.
Oh.
And you put it in there, and it comes up on the camera.
I don't know that that's
Well,
so hot and sexy.
All
guys.
I can
It's
say
definitely not
is,
at all.
Oh, okay.
thank God it's in black and white.
Huh.
Okay,
That's
they also have just like ultrasounds if you're really trying to see up in there.
yeah.
I think this
or
is
you
from
can go to the doctor.
from like the late 90s.
Sue Johansson was the that was.
Oh
that was
yeah,
a
I
thing.
remember her from high school.
I
Poor
got
youth
it.
today, the things they have to
Ooh,
learn.
yeah.
Yikes! They make Sue look.
Well, Sue was a sex educator and a nurse, so she was actually giving appropriate data. I think the youth today are kind of just
They're
willy-nilly.
TikToking it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, couple more.
Oh.
A known fact is that individuals of most animal species can't recognize their reflections as themselves, so it's always interesting to see how they'll react. Elephants happen to be one of the only animals that have self-awareness. So after first testing if the mirror does the same as they do, when they finally understand it's them, they start inspecting parts of their bodies they've never seen
So
before,
cute.
like inside their mouth.
Oh my goodness!
That is so cool.
Come on,
Very
is
cool.
this true?
Love that.
Seems true.
Yeah, I love that. Look at him looking in his
awesome.
mouth.
And we can't bring up animals without Christina's
Oh my
favorite
God.
animal.
A 6-month dolphin is usually able to recognize themselves in the mirror, which is much earlier than humans do. And if you put a mirror in front of them, they'll start exploring what they look like when they do
That's
certain
adorable.
things.
That's
Such as
amazing.
being upside down.
Do they figure out that it's them?
Oh, look at this smile.
Cute little mammals.
So
Very
one thing is
cute.
to understand it's themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saying, I want to look at myself.
That's yeah, it's
Can
so
I just
cute.
say I love that dolphins are mammals?
Right?
It's just
so
like so
cute.
special because they're always underwater. Like
They're actually quite clever.
They are quite clever and quite human-like in certain
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, we know. We know we're not revisiting the
okay.
I don't think you fully
relationships.
explained it on the
Yeah,
podcast,
it's
but you
okay.
were mortified when you found out.
that dolphins can have relationships with humans.
That was from a scientific documentary.
Yes,
as
yes,
well.
I know.
That
Another
wasn't-
one.
It wasn't a Pornhub link.
I'm
or
like, yeah,
anything.
yeah. It was quite interesting.
Okay, the last one is I always find these funny. It's a mom discovering tattoos on her son.
Oh my gosh.
Really did not do that. Why the fuck would you do that? What the fuck? Connor, it's below your elbow. Don't you ever want a real job? Oh my
Look at her trying to rub them off.
She is so mad.
Oh.
A seashell? What the hell is a seashell? A Shelby.
A seashell.
Oh, Shelby.
Oh my god! And then she
Now
feels
she's okay
the
with
motion a little.
Yeah, she's freaking.
Oh, she's
Right
a mad
here
mom.
above. Right here above. This shit's gotta stop. You're gonna have children someday. You are gonna
Oh,
have
this is great.
sons.
Are they
You want
fake?
your
They're
sons
fake.
to look like that?
Oh, I think
No,
they're
no,
real.
I think it's real.
Yeah. I think he already had some, and this is just went into the job
I think
stopper.
it's a generational
Look at
thing.
the dad.
I went like, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Actually, a few weeks ago, a month ago, I had told my dad I wanted a thigh piece. So quickly, in closing, I'll let you know. He literally slammed his hand on the desk and went, "I forbid it." I was like, I'm like a grown-ass woman, Dad. It's so funny, that generation.
It is that generation.
Your
for
parents
sure.
loved tattoos.
Tattoos, that's their favorite.
And yours?
No.
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 They don't dig?
My poor sister came home with one, and she definitely wasn't spoken to for a month.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
A month.
It was because of the, was it the tramp stamp?
Oh,
The-
Yeah.
timestamp, they call it now.
Oh, timestamp. Okay, this is good to know. But
because literally
remember,
nobody
I'm
gets
older
them
than
anymore.
you guys.
Who are they?
I know.
Kids.
Timestamp.
Yes.
Anyways, okay.
Well, guys, as usual, I'm gonna move right into closing.
I feel like you won't remember that now because you skipped over it so quick.
What?
Nothing.
The timestamp?
Go ahead.
What? Oh gosh, Kristina, Bret, thanks for coming out. Good talking to you guys today about self-discovery. And for anyone tuning in, if you'd like to learn more about the three of us, the podcast, or watch back any of the previous episodes, check out our website at www.modernmatterspodcast.com. You can find every link to each of our social media pages, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Very good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big hearts.
When was the last one? 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
That what? That we met?
Recorded, yeah.
Really? That long?
I feel like.
Why? Did I not nail it, guys?
No, you did.
did.
You did well.